Hello, my loves. Welcome back to Chemistry with Kismet Tarot. I am Monica, the Kismet Chemist. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Welcome to the family. It's an honor to have you here. If you are returning, welcome back. So before I jump into the channeled message and everything, I wanted to share something with you guys. First, a huge amount of gratitude and appreciation for each and every one of you who have stuck with this channel, who have come to this channel and found community, has found home, has found acceptance, belonging, a safe space, family. You guys, this community is so incredible, and I am so incredibly grateful for every single one of you guys. I love hearing your stories. I love hearing your perspectives. I love hearing how I genuinely love hearing how you guys always say, you've changed my life in so many ways, because every time I read a comment like that, my first thought is, I didn't do anything. And you guys will find that awareness, because I come here and I give the messages, but it's up to each and every one of you how to apply them in your life, where to apply them in your life, and whether or not you're actually going to run with them. Even if they resonate, we can still deny, reject, deflect, or choose for ourselves that this just is not the right path at this time or for me at all. And you all do the work. You guys do the work. Every time I show up here for you guys, it is just one small blip on the radar of how many times you show up for yourselves. And I am so honored to be counted as part of that journey. So please give yourselves a lot more credit, a pat on the back, a big hug, and know that that hug also is coming from me. So the reading today is about the 1111 portal. And this is falling on November 11th, which will be tomorrow when I post this video. However, the energies of this message, as all of mine are, even though I'm tapping into collective energy at a specific time, the messages are timeless. So Saturday marks this year's 1111 portal. With 2023 being a collective 7-year, all of the energies of this portal are focused on alignment of the self, as well as the alignment of humanity as a whole. The portal holds a lot of significance with the energy of Saturn, as it's falling on Saturday, which is Saturn's day. And it also marks the building energy of Monday's new moon in Scorpio. So we have a lot of really powerful energies about closure and lessons and cycles and cause and effect, all of them really jam-packed into this 1111 portal. And that means that these energies are incredibly and profoundly open for us to utilize. Now, everyone out there is going to have varying interpretations of how this energy is going to flow. The reason why that happens is because each one of us has a unique filter. And each channeler not just has a unique filter, but they also have a unique audience that they're meant to reach. And so the ways that the energy flows for them is tailored to helping move through that filter and reach those that's meant to. I think the reason why I felt called to mention all of that is because I have had this happen to me a lot before, in which I have heard a lot of kind of assessments or interpretations or breakdowns of the different astrology transits and the different numerological important days of importance, like, the 777 or the 8/8 Lionsgate portal, things like that. I've heard a lot of interpretations of how that energy flows. And while they all have some common thread or common theme, the interpretations are different. And I asked Spirit why, and it's because we're all uniquely attuned to the messages we're meant to give. Now, 1111 is often connected with spiritual awakenings, manifestation, new beginnings, wishes, whispering to the cosmos, and it also correlates to the Four of Wands, which is a card about union and celebration and bringing two people together into one. It's often seen as the marriage card, but to me, it's just a joining of energies. 7, as far as the year, the numerology of the year, 7 is the energy of the seeker, the philosopher, the student on a mighty quest to become the master. It can be equally enthralling and exciting as it can be restless and scattered. So when we bring this collective energy together with the harmony and unifying energies of the 1111 portal, the stars, the planets, the sun and moon, are great luminaries in the sky, and cosmic stardust, which all are just imbued within the collective with a celebratory awareness that we have mastered a core part of ourselves. Now we're moving into what we're being called for. So as we gather with our friends and or family, with our guides and angels, or, for those in the US at military memorials, because it does fall on Veterans Day, I see there being this kind of unseen yet psychically felt light energy swirling around. This was one of the most magical visions I got. So there was like an almost Disney-esque magical feeling to it. So something which reminds us all of the powerful healing that we hold within, the eager curiosity we felt as children, and even during the early days of a spiritual awakening, when you awake and you see all the signs and the synchronicities, and you go to your first tarot reading and it's like, holy cow, this person I've never met, they just described my life. How did that happen? And you get so excited and so caught up in that joy of realized connection, realized purpose, realized unconditional love. That's the energy that I feel with this portal in the collective. It also gives us all a sense of very purposeful optimism. And that's a big deal, because optimism without purpose can be dangerous. But purposeful optimism means I am optimistic because I have a purpose here. I know this has a purpose, or I have a plan for this, and the purpose for this is. So we're making our optimistic viewpoint of things will be great. Things will always go my way. Things do always go my way. I am successful. I am blah, 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 like ... fill it in. So all of those optimistic self-empowerment, affirmation, mantra kind of stuff that we work with, now it's almost like the energy is swirling through, but it has a very clear directionality to it. It is a very, I'm actually seeing the scene in Brave, where the will of the wisps, the little wisps, start going in a line. And so when Merida starts following them, they pop out and pop forward. And so you just keep going after them, because they have a purpose for the magic that they're bringing into her life. They have a purpose for this path. And it is a lot like that here. So you guys know, if you've been on my channel for a while, you know that I am not one to sugarcoat. I'm not one to fabricate or endorse any kind of toxic positivity. If I feel an uplifting energy or a positivity or an optimism or something that just is like, oh my gosh, this is so magical, I will tell you guys. But I also will walk hand in hand with your shadows and share the darkness and cry with you. So I mention this because the images and feeling I am getting from the energy is really quite remarkable. But to the rational mind, it's really easy to doubt. So this is the portal to doubt or to believe, kind of like Hamlet, I think it is, to be or not to be. If you open your heart to the mystery, there is much waiting for each of you to ignite that passion, the adventure, the wonder, the magic that contains within you, or that you contain within you. This is about letting this portal reinvigorate you, letting it fill you, cover you, completely wash over you inside and out, to bring back that excitement, that wonder, that awe. In a world war-torn and judgmental, this portal wants to remind us why we do it, why we keep moving forward, why it matters, why we matter. But it needs us to engage with it. So I did get a channeled message that kind of sounds like an affirmation, so I'll go ahead and just read it to you guys. All you feel has lost its shine, now glows from the heart of the divine. Open your arms, big and wide, step through the portal to the magical side. And I know it sounds almost like a childlike spell, like what you would expect in a Disney movie. It genuinely does. It also feels, I'm getting like a big Charmed vibe here with the sisters. Like this is like the kind of spell that they would weave in that. And you can adapt that however you want, adjust it however you want. But this portal is about bringing magic into our lives. I just gotta wait a second. It's a little bit different than bringing magic into our lives. It's helping us remember the magic in our lives, helping us remember what it's like to see it. In a lot of ways, this 1111 portal, and especially with the Four of Wands that just keeps popping into my third eye, this is not about a union or a marriage between you and another person, nor between your divine masculine and your divine feminine. This is more about you coming together with your inner child. No more locking all of that away. No more saying, I'm an adult, so I can't engage with this. No, it's time to let your inner child out, to allow for the energies within you as you are now, and your pure, creatively curious, and very, very innocent and loving inner child. And I'm going to take that camera as a confirmation. It's time for those two energies to finally come together. All right. Now we have 4 piles. And I'll give you guys some meditation music. I'm going to go over the runes with you guys here. We have the card Holy Grail with the Jira rune. And in some texts, this rune is the 12th rune. In other texts, this rune is the 13th rune. So we can look at it as either or. The star being healing codes for pile 2 and Fehu. Fehu, I believe, is let me see. Fehu is the 11th rune. And then we have the Stellar Gateway activation card with Odal or Othala. And this is the rune number 4. And then the 4th pile, we have the Seraphim's Gateway. And we have Nothes, which is the rune number 4. 7. Wow. What is up, guys? Numbers are elusive to me right now. All right. It's a rune number 7. My bad, guys. All right. I'm going to go ahead and turn on some meditation music for you guys. Get into the flow, get into your intuition, tap deeply into this energy, ask to be guided. Maybe some of you can visualize your inner child taking your hand and walking with you through this reading and letting your inner child pick which card or pile or rune. I will see you guys at your piles. And as always, the timestamps are in the description box below. Hello, pile 1. If you chose the Holy Grail and the rune Jera, this is your message about what spiritual mastery you're moving into on this 1111 portal. So I'm going to go over the intentions of the cards with you guys before we get into the channeled message that I got based off of your theme energy. So we'll actually start there. The rune and the card that you chose are significant as far as the theme of this 1111 portal energy. These 4 cards above are what you're mastering. The card in the middle is a signifier of the area of your life and part of your shadow that this 1111 portal is bringing into awareness for you for mastery. Then we have a Divine Abundance card here, which is what you can do to help embody and move forward in an internal abundant energy. And then we're using the Super Attractor cards because I love their little sayings. And you can use them as a mantra. You can use it as a journal prompt, as, kind of an inspirational trigger for you to really reflect upon not just this reading, but how you feel in terms of your divinity, your relationship with the divine, and how you feel in terms of manifestation and worthiness and abundance. So, and again, I am still filming while I'm not feeling the greatest. It's going to be, I found out yesterday, it's going to be a pretty long journey, this particular viral infection that I have, because I had chickenpox when I was a kid, and I have now developed shingles. And so that does really take a toll on the body. And I was told it's going to be anywhere from 3 to 5 weeks at a minimum for me to move through this. So I really appreciate your guys' patience and grace while I'm pretty gravelly in the throat. I am drinking a ton of water all the time. And my body is really fighting as hard as it can. I do a lot of resting, but I do still really feel called to doing these readings because it does actually help me feel better. Like, your guys' energy genuinely makes me feel better. So thank you for sharing that energy here. So we're going to get into your message now. So your theme here is the Holy Grail and the rune of Jera. Jera is about cycles. divine harvest, but it's also about the solar year. So 1 year. How much can change in just a single year's time? The Holy Grail card, and I'm going to move it up so you guys can see it because I know there's a glare in my office because of my windows being open. But it says inner discovery, finding sacredness, and you are what you seek. And it was so crazy to me. I mean, sort of crazy, like just an exciting crazy, because when I was finished filming Saturn's reading, the very first message that I got before I had even been pulled to the decks to use here, before I had structured intentions for the cards, before I had anything, I heard what you seek is seeking you. And I thought that was so incredible because pile one, your energy was like, we're here, we're ready. What do I need to know? And I love that. Absolutely love that for you guys because this Holy Grail card, it talks a lot about what you contain within yourself. And so if you're here and you're like, what do I need to know? I am ready. The best part about that is that all I'm going to be telling you is exactly what you already know. The reason why it would, I literally just got this energy of like, then why am I here if I already know it? One of the gifts that I have that I like to really do my best to share as abundantly as I can with other people is helping highlight things that you know, but that maybe need to be seen in a different light. And I have many people that do that for me. And it's such a beautiful give and take relationship when we know something, but we don't know how to move into that energy. We don't know how to work with that energy. We're not really sure what we're supposed to do with what we know. A lot of the times what we need is to see it through the lens of someone else because we're seeing through our own and now we can shift. And that takes time. And that's why this rune here comes forward. The other really amazing thing, and I actually journaled this the other day, is that the very first time I had ever interacted with the Elder Futhark runes, I was at a spiritual, they call it an SOS because it's run by a spiritual business here in Minot. It's the SOS Expo. So it was like a spiritual expo and all of the different crystal dealers and tarot card readers and mediums and psychics and healers. They all have vendor booths and they are offering their services and talking to people and connecting with people. And they have these different symposiums. But I went to one. I haven't been back since, but I went to one back in March of 2021. And it was the first time that I came into contact with Moldavite. Before I went to the booth that was selling Moldavite, I passed by a table and he had a basket full of stones and he stopped me and he said, would you like a rune? Would you like a rune reading? And I was like, I appreciate that. We're kind of on a budget right now. And that was genuinely, we had set aside X amount and my intention going there was to find a Moldavite stone. And I know how spendy Moldavite gets. So I was like, I really appreciate that. I said, I have been feeling called to rune work, but I haven't done anything with it yet. And he said, no, my services as far as the rune readings, those are free. You get to put your hand in this bag, you pull out a rune, just whatever pulls to you, and I'll let you know what it means so that you know what your guides are saying. And I just was kind of blown away. And so I did. I pulled that rune out, and this is the rune that I pulled out. and he talked about cycles and about harvest. And I just thought that was so incredible, because at this moment right now, in this journey that we're on, we're all collectively going through this kind of overhaul. But with this energy, it's this hearkening back to a memory of a first time. We have this Holy Grail, and it is pouring out. And this Queen of Cups is also pouring out. But as she's pouring out, she's sitting in the water. This is about a pouring out in order to actually immerse yourself in this energy. So I was tapping into your guys' energy, and I got the word quest. And it came with 2 questions. So, are you yet on your quest? And have you come to understand and know you've never been anywhere else? And I thought that was, it's so exciting, because what it means to me, and please interpret it for you as well. But how that came into me was like, every time we think about cycles, we think about a new start, a new beginning, the Ouroboros. You know, you go through the journey in the tarot deck with the major arcana from the Fool until the World. And what happens? You start back over again. And then we think of these things as different journeys, different quests, different missions, different whatever, different adventures, you know? But they're not. There hits a point where we get pulled back to an origin or a first time, just like with this runestone. We get called back to that first time, and now we can reflect about where we were then, where we are now, and what we want to do moving forward. And we can see, have I ever really had to completely start over? No. And that is truly the nature of the Fool's journey and the major arcana cards and the Ouroboros energy, is that we don't ever truly end a journey and begin a new one, because when we go through these cycles, at the end, which is also the beginning, when we move forward, when we pass that liminal space of ending and beginning, what we're doing is we're taking everything that we had from before and carrying it with us. We carry the lessons, the wisdom, the experiences. We carry the wounds, and we carry the blessings. So we carry all of that with us. And it gets to this point where eventually we're taking everything that was and we're pouring it and sitting in all of that, so that it doesn't matter anymore whether we're looking at it as a beginning or an ending, because we are within it. We are immersed in it. So then I was starting to see like knights and like King Arthur's court and Camelot and Knights of the Round Table. But I saw this knight, and he was very young and eager, and just, I just got like should I specify as far as like gender identification stuff? I'm just going based off of what I saw, guys. So I hope that you give me some grace on explaining this, please. And I don't know why I felt like I needed to say that, but that's very strange for me. Interesting. I think you guys are bringing stuff up for me. And for that, I want to say thank you. But I was seeing this young, very eager knight, and he was on his horse, and, you know, his armor was all shiny and his hair was clean cut, and he sat with his back very straight, very confident. I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going. I'm so excited. And he set out down a dirt road, you know, just galloping away on his trusty steed. And it was the energy from that was the Fool card. And now as I'm sitting here, I'm actually thinking about that on another level. The energy was of the Fool card and with the Fool card, we always see him leaping off the cliff, and we talk about jumping into the unknown. And then we can get scared because what is that? And how do you know? Because it is unknown. But the Fool's journey is you galloping away like the night. It's this perception that it's going to be linear. If he jumps off the cliff, he's going to assume that he's going to fall straight down because why? Gravity. But he doesn't. He is caught. Maybe a wind comes and blows him forward, like Pocahontas jumping off a cliff and the wind just taking her. But I heard after that, after I saw that night vision, I heard Weary Wandering Soul, which are lyrics from the song Turning Wake by Isla Nerio. And she talks about the different ways that we're operating in the world and how we can wake ourselves up to it and how we can embrace us being made of stars and ancient songs. And it's a beautiful, beautiful song. I strongly recommend it. I just kept hearing that weary, wandering soul. And then it was born upon a body that you can never own. And it's this recognition in that moment that we're born into this life, into this physical existence, into this physical body, but we don't own this body. This body is what our soul chose. It's like a loan from our soul. Our soul is like, I choose this one. But we don't own our bodies. We're meant to nurture and to love and to work with them and our soul. And then after that, I got this direct message. And they said, you've mastered the setting out of a new quest, the knowing of adventures, both exciting and harrowing. Yet when we go about these things, we can feel untethered, longing for home. Some adventures take such a toll, we decide it to be a finality for this way of living, this adventurous way of living. Things have been challenging and rest is important. But this pile in particular, your guides and especially your inner children are trying to get you excited to get up and go exploring again. When you choose to stand and take the first step out of the metaphorical spiritual door, there is waiting for you there a spark of inspiration and little lantern fairies to entice you to join them. And magic is waiting for you now. And I was getting so many visions and messages. And of course, when I say of course, because I'm more talking to myself and my guides, because I'm actually feeling like a kind of like little chuckle in the back of my head. Of course, whenever I think of like taking a step out a door, I always think about The Hobbit and how Frodo, when he left, he said that Bilbo always told him, you know, if you don't kick your feet, you'll never know where you might end up. And this energy really is a lot like Frodo when Frodo came back from his entire journey with the ring. He no longer felt as though the Shire was home. He had changed so drastically, and he knew that there was somewhere else that he was meant to rest. And he decided to leave, even at the cost of leaving his best friends. But he knew that that was what was right. Sometimes we go on this journey and we find ourselves face to face with, I don't belong here anymore. And that is when the exhaustion hits and the, I don't want to continue moving forward hits. And we can get stuck in that pattern. We can get stuck in that energy. It is so easy to get stuck in that because it's so heavy and viscous. It's like swimming through black sludge that just yanks on you. And it's so hard to keep going. And we don't want to because it's so much. And then we wonder, where was that bright-eyed, fresh-faced knight that we once were. Where did that go? And now I'm seeing Indiana Jones and the Grail cup and how he gave it to his father to give him life back, to heal him. He didn't want the cup for himself. He didn't want immortality. He didn't want money or fame or glory. He wanted to heal the person he loved the most. We go on these long quests because we're called, because it's that time. And it takes so long. And we get back. And I get the sense from this pile that hearing it's time for a new beginning, it's time for a new adventure, it's time for a new start. I feel like I want to cry hearing those words, because it's like the way this energy feels is I don't have it in me. I do not have it in me to keep going and to do it again. I don't. The last time. And then there's just this series of painful memories and experiences. And then the fear kicks in and like, how can I bear to go through that again? And so instead of navigating through or looking at it from fresh eyes, there's this sadness. There's that sad expression of, I don't know how to do this anymore. And that's okay. Pile 1, that's okay. If you're resonating with this, I want you to know it's okay. You're not wrong for how you feel. It's not bad to feel these things. You are not failing your guides or yourself. You are at exactly the point you are meant to. You are still on your quest. This is where it is hard. This is where you are Atreyu going through the swamp of sadness and you're losing your best friend and you watch and all you want to do is give up, but you can't. You can't give up because you have a noble heart. Because you have divine, unconditional love flowing through you. And that gives you a strength. And so right now, on this side of the 1111 portal, let yourself cry. Let yourself feel fear. Let yourself feel all of the shadows. Pour them all out. So that you can choose to take the next step. Let's take a look at your tarot cards. Yes, we have the 9 of Pentacles, the 4 of Cups, the 9 of Wands. Wow, guys. Oh man, I want to hug you guys so bad. And the 3 of Wands. We have 2 figures in offices. They are both sitting the same way with the 3 of Wands and the 4 of Cups. What you're mastering is the shadows of the pain. You're mastering allowing yourself to say the things that are negative and understanding. I 100% am a person who believes that the words that we use hold great power. But I also am somebody who cannot shove words down or keep them in my head or not write them down and not express them, because the negative ones that come in, the ones that tell me I'm not enough, I am not worthy, the ones that whisper little lies and needle at my pain and push at me to end things or to walk away or to destroy things or destroy myself more often than not, the ones that seek to strip me of the truth of who I am, the love that the divine has for me, the power that I hold within myself to overcome those little things. If I keep those trapped inside of me, they gain more and more power because they feed off of the shame and the guilt and the fear. They feed off of the fear that we hold, knowing our words carry magic, carry importance. And so I personally learned that there are times where I need to say these things in order to tell myself, to have myself realize these thoughts are not me. These beliefs are not me. This perspective is not mine. I understand it comes from a wounded place. I understand it comes from past conditioning. It is not mine. And we go through these things. And guys, I am telling you 100%, no matter how far out of the depression or the ending of the self cycle you get, no matter how distant you get and how much you heal, that can always return. And it doesn't make you weak, and it doesn't make you unhealed. It doesn't mean that you failed. It doesn't mean that you are unworthy. It means that you're growing. Because every time those thoughts come back, every time those emotions and exhaustion come back, you get the opportunity to look at them and then look at all the moments of your strength, all of the moments of your success, all of the love that you can feel. More and more and more you move through this. You go from one to the other. But the thing is this is about you recognizing your own sacredness within, allowing the divine to pour into you as well, because it's understandable. I almost think it would be more worrisome if you guys were not exhausted from cycles and new beginnings and knowing that there's something else you're supposed to do, but not knowing what to do. Why? Because this summer, that's where I was. That is exactly where I was this summer. I was so deep in depression. I did not think I was going to survive. I didn't know. I could barely get out of bed. I didn't know. And I would have shining moments where I'd come here and film for you guys, but they were very few and far between. And it wasn't because I was off adventuring and experiencing life. I was so deep in the darkness. I hurt myself and I lost sight of everything this summer. And I needed to do that. I needed to hit that absolute rock bottom because it taught me how to ask for help. When you are in that place as a creative, I couldn't touch my creativity. I could barely pick up a pen and put it to paper. Where I am now doing this is so drastically different. So I want you to know that the energy that I'm sitting in is that energy that I'm familiar with. And I want you to know you're not alone. You're not alone. And it's scary. It's terrifying. And learning how to ask for help, understanding that you're seeking something, it's within you. When you ask for help, even if you don't know what help you need, that makes you brave and bold and strong. And that shows you how courageous you can be. It shows you how much you have stepped into yourself. And it helps you get out of the cycle of negativity. This is what you're mastering. You are mastering your most painful shadows. And when we master our most painful shadows, the part of us that we are setting free is the purity and the innocence that so often this world robs us of believing we contain. And we do. We all have it within ourselves. No matter how much other people want to deny it, I will be here to support that belief 100% because I know I contain it still. And that means that in my truth, we all contain that purity. We all contain that innocence. When you go through a journey this painful, this exhausting, when you are the weary, wandering soul and you long for a place to just rest and stop. Lean into the awareness of what's going on and know 100% that you're not alone. Every moment you feel lonely, know you aren't alone. So let's look at the abundance energy you're moving into, because I feel like we could use a really uplifting here. I did not see this coming. I was very confused when I was tapping into your guys' energy, because normally when I tap into the theme energy, so much comes in. This was like it had to be in the moment because this did not come in before. And it was like I had to work through it and understand it with you guys in real time first. So now I get it. Let's look at this feels like a promise of what you're moving into. The card of flow, and it says, allow me, divine, to move with the flow and respond with calmness and peace. It's okay to have hesitance. It's okay to doubt. It's okay to long and to yearn for this to be true. It is okay to experience everything that you're experiencing, every emotion you're experiencing, every thought that you have. It's okay. You're not bad. You're not evil. You're not cursed. You're not wrong. You're wounded. And you have had promises before. That's Spirit. Okay. I'm hearing you have had promises before that have stripped you of all hope upon breaking. Not promises that you made, but promises that others made that did not come from the words of the divine. The words of the divine come from within you. Flow to me means that I'm writing, that I'm creating. It might be different for each and every one of you. What this means in this portal energy, I can't tell you. I won't. I could give 1.5 million different scenarios, but it needs to be you to determine it. So I'll be your cheerleader. I will be your support. I will be your witness to it if you would like. Share it in the comments if you would like. If not, I understand, but I will energetically cheer you on because I believe in you. And this is about you believing in yourself again. So let's get this final card. I'm just going to read it and then we'll close this reading out. I do see 3333 on the timer, so that may be significant for some of you. I release time and let the universe show me what to do. Wow. 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 Okay. Oh, thank you, Spirit, for always, always, always coming in. Thank you. Pile one, I'm sending you guys a huge hug. I am going to offer Reiki for this pile. If you would like to accept that, it's up to you. You don't have to. I'm just sending Reiki for greater peace of mind and inner peace on this part of your journey. Okay. That energy, if you choose to accept it, it will continue to flow throughout at least the entire duration of the 1111 portal and through the new moon energy. Just to help you guys, really, really to help you feel that love that I can so tangibly feel from your guides and your inner children and spirit for you. So pile one, I want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you to your guides, to my guides, to your inner children, to the great spirit for connecting these energies, for flowing this message through, for standing witness, for allowing a voice to reach all those of pile one so that they may know that their voice matters, that they matter, that they are loved, and they are seen. Thank you. Pile one, if this resonated and you would like to support my channel, I truly appreciate it. It is absolutely not required. Ways that you can do that are liking this video, commenting in the comment section, subscribing to my channel. You can go to the description box. There are links to donate. There are also links to my Amazon author page. I have 9 books published on Amazon. They are available in a variety of different formats, from hardcover to paperback to Kindle and Kindle Unlimited. I have 3 self-help books. The other ones are planetary retrograde guidebooks, but that is also another way that you can support this channel, my creative endeavors, and everything like that. So I'm going to leave you guys here. Thank you again so much for being here. I love you guys so much, and I will see you at my next reading. Bye. Hello, pile 2. If you chose the Feyahu rune as well as the Star Being healing codes, this is your message about this 1111 portal and what kind of spiritual mastery you are moving into. So I'm going to go over the intentions for the cards and then we'll get into the message. The core card or the theme card here, along with the rune, these are the themes of this day, this energy, this portal for you, just the overarching themes. Now, what you're getting mastery in is represented by the 3 tarot cards up on top. The center tarot card with the back of the deck energy is parts of your subconscious and your shadow that are playing a role within the mastery. On the sides here, we have the Divine Abundance cards. Those 2 cards are meant to help you step more into your abundance energy, to help you embody that, give you some guidance in tapping into that energy. And then on the bottom, we're using the Super Attractor cards, which I absolutely love the Super Attractor cards. And those are just, or this is just for any kind of mantra or just something for you guys to think about, to reflect on, to journal on. Sorry, guys, I just started like hiccuping. To reflect on or journal on or speak with your guides about. just something for you guys to take with you when you leave, in the sense of, okay, so I got this big message. Now I want to look at this. So let's get into the core energy. And I did channel a message that I will, I have my notes next to me, so I will go ahead and pull that in a minute. But we do have the Fehu rune, and we have Star Being Healing Codes. And it says, important information, wounds are healed and recharging. And I love how mystical this is, because I got to tell you guys the truth. I have had visions of beings, light beings, all gathered together. There were about 7 of them gathered together around a planet, but the planet wasn't Earth. It was a different life-giving or life-inhabiting planet, and they were all surrounding it, and they were holding hands, and there was this beautiful energy just flowing from them into this planet. And as I was watching, while also somehow being part of the group of beings, I was watching, and the planet started pulsating like it was a heartbeat. And it was just such a magical experience, because nobody can really negate something like that, but you also don't need to prove it. And a lot of what that is just stepping really, really deeply into the mystical, into the unexplainable by humanity's standards or by rationality standards, and allowing it to be what it is. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because sometimes when we are going through a healing, it defies logic and it defies rationality. With Fehu, we have foresight, new starts, money, wealth, inheritance. It is often seen as the very first in the Elder Futhark runes. However, I do have 2 different books on it that I actually utilize by looking at them and just kind of tapping into the different ways. One of them is far more earth-based. The other one is much more mythologically based. So I really like blending those together. And the reason why I bring this up is because in one book, the Fehu rune is rune number 11. And the other one, it's rune number 1. So we have 111, and that felt very significant. But I also was picking up major arcana correlations. So the Justice card, the High Priestess card, the Magician card, with Libra, the Moon, and Mercury. And then I was getting the Magician card really, really strongly with as above, so below, as within, so without. And then there was another one similar to that. And I can't remember what it was, but it was something about the soul. And I feel like it's something for you guys to discern or discuss with your guides, because there's something to the as above, so below, as within, so without with this pile, where it feels like there is a missing factor in that. And that is some sort of key of awareness. And this portal energy is meant to help you with that. And then I got some really, really interesting energy. I heard elemental alchemy, which I love, but I also heard astrological alchemy. And if I were to give a definition, based off of how the energy feels, astrological alchemy is kind of like, it's like taking traditional astrology and taking modern astrology and combining them in a way where it becomes something completely different. I mean, one could argue that if you look at human design, it's very similar to that, but this is different from human design even. It's kind of one of the most, how do I want to word this, Spirit? Can you help? Get a very abstract energy to astrological alchemy. And everybody's going to have a different idea or inspiration based off of what that can be. And the best part is each and every one of you that have that, you're right. And none of you are wrong. even if they're all different, that's the nature of alchemy. You take something that was and you turn it into something that is different. It's, turning normal metals into gold, the elixir of life or immortality, things like that. So we're talking about taking something and transmuting or alchemizing in some way, shape, or form. You could be pulling in other elements. You could be pulling in other belief systems. You could be pulling in other systems of energetic exchange or awareness. I'm not sure. It's going to be different. And this portal especially is open for you guys to be able to do that. None of this was what I channeled, but I love it. Okay. So I was shown the throat chakra and I got this like golden iridescent white communication. It's like you open your mouth and the words that you speak have a certain aura around them. And it's golden, but it's also iridescent white. It's like both of those together, which means it's pretty much all colors, just really, really bright and shining. And then I saw the Vesica Pisces, like they're the 3 circles where there's 2 circles converging and combining into one. It's not a Venn diagram because they're all in a row with each other. And I was going to pull something for you guys, but I forgot. But you guys can look it up if you want to. But with the Vesica's Pisces, with them that way, I actually saw it shift to being upright so that it was, instead of horizontal, it was vertical. And it was a new coming together, like within yourself. And then I heard there's a yod to Saturn. So a yod is considered the finger of God. It's like a destiny point, and it has everything to do with Saturn. So I don't know if some of you might have that in your natal charts, or maybe in the transit chart, there is one being made to either your natal Saturn or transit Saturn. You have natal planets making one to Saturn transiting. And Saturn is transiting in Pisces. So we do have the Vesica Pisces. Interesting. So what I got as far as your channeled message had everything to do with what you're mastering. So mastery within this pile is contained within yourself, but through the gateway, the wisdom that you hold, the awarenesses that you have come into and found, and all of this that you're starting to embody, it's beginning to be expressed outward. And then with that, I'm being shown like another planet, but it's like you're the planet. And where you could see like a pulsation of it, where it was like an internal heartbeat. It's now like pulsating out. And as it does that, it's like spreading out into the universe, into the galaxies, and just all across the entire everything of all creation. So I'm seeing it like expanding exponentially just based off of the heartbeat and the rhythm. So we all go through times of interaction, but we also go through times of isolation. Each one of those different cycles or different stages, they have a purpose. So the energies within this pile, the energy I feel is like super eager, like super ready. If you guys can't tell, I'm super pumped. And this is totally different than any other energy that I have tapped into for this reading. This energy is like, yeah, I got it. There's such an assurance here. And it's an excitement, like, and please don't take this the wrong way. It's like a mania, but in a good way. It's like, oh, I've got it. And when people who suffer from bipolar are in a manic state, they are at like the pinnacle of creativity. They can be very destructive, but they are also intensely creative. It's like you are in that state without the negative ramifications of it. It's It's like you're being possessed by creativity, but it's by your own creativity. There's a part of you that has come alive or come out of isolation. It's like you were the planet in the middle, and all the star beings or the Council of Light surrounded you and just brought you back to life, breathed life back into you. And now it's like, it's not even, I wanted to say it's clawing its way out, but that's not it, because that is not the right descriptor. But it's like it's arising within you, and it's like putting on the most comfortable yet stylish outfit you've ever worn, so that it's like you have these clothes on you and they are 100% you. They are a statement about you and everything, every part of who you are, your personality, your belief systems, everything. But they're also as comfortable as pajamas. Like that kind of energy where you've suddenly just become. Wow, what did you guys do? Okay. Wow. Okay. So you guys have been learning, what I got really strongly is you guys have been learning the lesson of filling up your own cup first, taking care of yourself first. The whole airplane analogy with the oxygen masks. You put your oxygen mask on first before you help anybody else put their oxygen mask on. So you have a full to overflowing cup. And that is really strongly indicated here with the King of Cups. But it's like you are learning how to take all of that internal divine feminine and all that internal emotional and creative energy, and you're riding the waves of it now. You are literally like, I am on my throne, I am riding these waves, and I have full control over my destination, over my heading, because I know that my emotions matter first and foremost. I know that the boundaries that I have matter. I know who I am, and I stand in my uniqueness, and I am here to show it off to the entire world. And I love this. Love, love, love this for you guys. So I also got a little bit of a piece of advice from your guides. So it says, when the pull comes, and the pull itself actually feels kind of physical when I was tapping into the energy, and I'm feeling it again now. So it's like this kind of tug, like an energetic tugging in the navel region. So sort of in your sacral chakra, sort of in your solar plexus, where it's kind of pulling on both of them at the same time and not exactly in the middle of them. So there's a golden chakra in the middle of those two, but it's not that. It's like one string above and one string below. And the golden one is just helping unify it. Oh my gosh, there you go. The Vesica Pisces. That makes so much more sense. Oh my gosh. I just put it together in my brain. What that was about. It was about that feeling. So all your hesitation is going to fade. And you can be doubtful about that. I totally get that. If you feel like, I probably will still hesitate. I probably will still be cautious, be careful. There's a difference between holding yourself back or hesitating because you are not confident in yourself. When you hold yourself back, you're using your discernment. You're saying, okay, I feel this pull, I feel this tug. I know it's time. Now, what are my boundaries based off of what I'm feeling? This is what I set as my line in the sand. Then you move forward. That's not hesitation. That is you literally proving to yourself exactly what this message is that you have gained that level of awareness and that level of growth and that level of healing enough to say, this is what I want to do. But before I do that, I'm going to make sure I have clear-cut boundaries because it's important for my mental, physical, emotional, spiritual health. And it's best for everybody. So have that confidence. Know that you have everything you need. Have that confidence when you take that first step forward. You have the sight, you have vision, and you have the blessings. And you have this ancestral inheritance awakening within you and ready to be kind of at your, I heard at your disposal, and then I heard at your service, miss. So it's cute. It's like a butler, which I think is awesome. So it's like you guys have this awakening within you, and it has a lot to do with your ancestors. And it's not just about your ancestors here in the world. It's about your starseed ancestors who also might exist in the world, but who also you were one of. It was like you were a member of the Council of Light, and then you decided to continue to come back here and incarnate on Earth in order to help with your descendants. Gosh, that's such a beautiful concept. It's like you guys are your own ancestor, and as such, you can tap into that ancestral energy that much easier because it's so personal to you. Wow. And yeah, just go, like, because you came here to be a descendant of yourself. I genuinely hope that makes sense to you guys. So a healing is coming to you because you have restored your understanding, your awareness, and your sense of personal value, but also value in what you have to offer in the world. So as you expand through sharing this energy or whatever it is that you do in the world, it's okay to know that, to be certain that you will receive a return of abundance. So there is a lot of give and take here. But when I say a return of abundance, I want you guys to be 100% aware. Number one, we all define what abundance means to us. We define what wealth means to us. We define what prosperity means to us. Number two, there is a money energy here where I feel like a lot of you have been working to heal your money mindsets. And I'm here to tell you, I am still working on fixing mine. So I know these truths and I understand the concept, but it doesn't change the emotionality of the way that someone has lived their entire life. So I've lived my life not having a lot. In my childhood, I didn't have birthday parties, and we had, hand-me-down clothes, and I wore one pair of shoes for several years, and unless my feet were growing out of them, but we didn't have a lot of money. I got picked on a lot at school because of it. And so changing a mindset surrounding money, especially when you go through those experiences, and then, I was a teenage mom, and it's not like it is on MTV. It's not like it is in the movies. Like, I had to figure things out when I was still a child myself. That takes time. But I feel like you guys have really put in the time. And so I want you guys to understand that it doesn't matter where you're at on that journey. Your ancestors and these star beings are saying, we're helping heal that because you have done the hardest parts. Because the hardest parts is saying, you know what? Yeah, I struggle with this. Yes, I have a hard time believing myself to be worthy, believing myself to be of value, believing that what I have to offer the world is of value. But I am willing to do the work to find out what it is within myself that makes me feel that way. I'm not going to berate myself. I'm not going to, call myself names or be negative or be down on myself. I am going to do this because who I am as a unique individual soul and person here in this world is someone who is deeply worthy of all that I desire. And so I will work at all of that so that I step into my power and I live my life to the fullest. And you guys chose Fehu. There is almost no extraction of money from that energy. They're intertwined. So let's take a look at what you're mastering here. So we have the Four of Wands. I love that because if you guys skip the intro, totally get it. But if you skip the intro, I talked about how the Four of Wands is that energy of the 1111 portal. And look, it's literally like looking through a magic mirror. And that's kind of like, that is kind of how I'm picking it up. And then we have the Tower card. That came through so strongly. Not all Tower moments are bad. Just like not all Four of Wands or a happy celebration, whatever, are good. Not all unions are good. Not all Tower moments are bad. Sometimes things crumble for our best benefit. Sometimes you crumble things because you understand that it's for our best benefit. And I get the feeling that this pile in particular, you've enacted Tower moments in your own life, willingly, knowingly done that. Even if it was outside of the scope of like an awareness that this is a Tower moment, but you have intentionally engaged in certain things. Going in and saying, you know what, I understand I have this negativity, but I want to heal it. I want to change it because I am worthy of having this. I value myself enough, and I have this value on what I present to the world that I should receive that in return. And you're ready and willing to dive into those choppy waters, knowing that you have what it takes to heal this. That is a Tower moment. We can think of Tower moments as being an ultimate destructor in our lives, but not always. Sometimes a Tower moment is when we say, you know what? This isn't working for me. This is not healthy for me. This is not aligned with me, and I need to take it down. I need to crumble this. I need to walk away. For me in my life, I have had several Tower moments that I enacted in a multitude of ways. One very obvious one is I ended my first marriage. He was having an affair, but I'm the one that asked for the divorce. I'm the one that asked him to move out. It was not his first affair. I could have continued to stay despite it all. I chose not to. I chose to finally say, this is not right. I am not happy. I am not safe in this environment, and I am not loved the way that I should be loved, the way that I deserve to be loved. I don't love myself while I'm in this situation, and it is best for me to leave. And that's never an easy choice because you're destroying so much when you go through a divorce. It is not just a person A and person B are no longer together. It's person A and person A's family and person A's friends, person B and person B's family and person B's friends. And then it's all of that group and all the ones that they had mutually, and all of that falls apart. People take sides, and it's an ugly, ugly thing. It is a terrible, awful thing to have to go through. But sometimes we have to be the one who sends the lightning bolt. Sometimes we have to say, I know this is going to be an absolutely awful thing to do, but it is the absolute right thing for me. And if it's the right thing for me, it's the right thing for everybody involved, because it doesn't go just one way. We are uniquely individual, but if one person is like, this isn't working for me, whether it's a job, a relationship, a belief system, I just heard a car, any of it. If one person is part of a partnership or a group and it doesn't work for one person, it is genuinely not working for everyone. It genuinely isn't, because there's a union and a unity that needs to happen. So you're mastering recognizing when the tower needs to fall. Despite unions, despite togetherness, despite any kind of connection in that way, you're recognizing when it needs to fall. And guys, I need to give a disclaimer here, because my guides I just heard like the screeching tires on a pavement when you have to slam on your brakes. Please know I am not advising any kind of actions that might have you ending relationships or ending marriages. This is not what that is. I am reading energies and I'm utilizing an example from my life. If this is what you're taking from it, please ask yourself first and foremost whether this is true to your message. If you feel fear about that possibly being your message, ask yourself whether it's truly your message. Please use your greatest level of discernment here. All right, let's see your final card. We have the Four of Cups. Okay, so we have a 4-7-4 here. So again, 7 and 4 add together, make 11, 1-1-1, new beginnings. Okay, but with this Four of Cups, the energy of this is something is missing. It's there. I can't see it, but I know it's there, but I can't find it, but it's missing. And things are getting stagnant because you've got cobwebs in the back. So we've got stagnancy here. So what you're learning to master is recognizing when things are stagnant, recognizing when you know there's something missing and it needs to change, recognizing when a partnership or a group or a project or some interaction between you and something else is not working, and deciding to make the change and understanding that after you make that change, shit's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. And there's no shame in that. And if here's something I learned from therapy, which, guys, I got to tell you, I need to sing my therapist's praises here because she does for me what I do for other people and I struggle with doing for myself all the time. She is able to just do a tiny little switcheroo of a mentality that I have that literally opens so much awareness up just by a tiny little perspective shift. It's amazing. And I get comments on this channel that I do that for you guys all the time, and that's why I know I do it so well. But I finally get to understand how you guys feel when you come here and everything resonates and you're just like, aha, because it was within you all along. I'm just picking it out of the energy and bringing it into your awareness. I'm taking that cup off the back shelf and I'm putting it in front of you on the desk. This portal is helping you master the cycle of emotions, the pains, the anguishes, the hardships, everything, all the things that you have to go through when a tower falls, when you tumble that tower. Because the ebb and flow of emotions that you're dealing with here are no joke. It's like a tsunami. You've got the Emperor underneath. That's crazy. All of this, it's there because you're mastering navigating through tower energy. Pile 2. You guys are definitely soulmates of mine. You have to be. And I don't use those words lightly, but I just got this huge energy. Like, are some of you guys a 16-7 life path? So when you determine a life path based off of your tarot card life path, you do the month and then you add it to the birthday date. So say you're born in May, so you 5 and then May 22nd. So 5 plus 22. And then if you're born in, say, I don't want to date myself, so let's say 2000, you would take 5 plus 22 plus 20. So you would have 47. Then you reduce that down, you get 11. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. Wow. Is that someone's birthday here? Like genuinely someone's birthday here? Because this is an 11 again. And I did not do that intentionally. I promise. What is going on? Anyway, you have a 47. It reduces to an 11. You also do a secondary reduction of the 11 in this case. Even though in numerology, you would not do that, in tarot, you do. So you are looking at an 11 and a 2. So that would be the Justice card and the High Priestess card. Oh my God, which are the cards here? What is going on? The synchronicities are kind of crazy. Like, this is blowing me away because I literally pulled that date just like out of thin air. Actually, I'm pretty sure that was your guides guiding me, but I'm flabbergasted. Seriously, are you guys seeing ones literally everywhere? Because that's like so heavy here in a good way. But when you have a Tower card, when you have a 16-7, as this is your birth energy, this is your birth numbers, you have a 16-7. First of all, welcome to the club. So do I. Second of all, you start learning how to navigate through toxicity and trauma and pain and anguish like it's normal. Over time, Tower moments become the inevitability. But the Four of Cups is also an inevitability because we're human, because we're emotional, because we care. We go through the motions of the emotions. But instead of using that phrase, going through the motions, as the negative mindset of it, you're going through the motions of grieving. You're going through the motions of loss. You are allowing yourself to be in that process, to go through that process, to navigate through the waves and the crashing and the pain, because it is the deepest healing that you will get is by honoring that. That's part of drawing boundaries. So now I want to get into these two abundance messages. And I just saw 3333 on the clock. That could be significant for some of you. So yes, we have surrender. Sometimes learning to surrender can feel as if you're dying. The ego learns what's hardest: to stop trying to control the whole universe. In order to enact a Tower moment, you have to surrender to what is of the highest good for you, for everyone else involved. It is not always the easiest, but it is the best. Limitless. Yes. See yourself open to receive in the most miraculous ways. The divine can use anything and anyone. This is beautiful. And look, they're both blue, which speaks to the throat chakra, and back to that golden iridescent white communication, your words and the magic that they contain. This is how you step into that. Surrender to the fact that you are limitless. So if a Tower moment falls, that means that there is such a huge amount coming in because what you had to tumble was such a huge thing. And there is always an honoring of that and a return for that. So we're going to get your final message here. I'm not going to divine this or anything like that. I'm just going to read it and then I'm going to close out the reading. I release time and let the universe show me what to do. I love this message. Limitlessness. Let the divine show you. And look, with all these hands and this healing, it literally is that image. I love it. Okay. Pile 2. This energy is amazing. I love it. Love your energy. Yay. Okay. I love you guys so much. I want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you to your guides, my guides, the Great Spirit, for facilitating the connection between our energies, for flowing this message through with such power and excitement. It's been, man, I love this. Thank you so much for the incredibly strong and amazing collective of Pile 2. May they know just how brave and just how blessed they are. Thank you. All right, Pile 2, if this resonated and you guys would like to support my channel, I would truly appreciate that. Some of the ways you can do that are by liking the video, commenting in the comment section below. You can subscribe to my channel. You can also go to the description box. There are links to donate to my channel, as well as a link to my Amazon author page. And on that page, you have access to all 9 of my books. They are in a variety of formats from hardcover to paperback, Kindle, Kindle Unlimited. There are 3 spiritually based self-help teaching memoirs or just self-help books. And there are 6 astrological guidebooks for the transits of 2022. All of which, you guys, if you feel like diving into those, you can take a look at the energies and how they flowed and how you interacted with them. But all of that stuff can be found in the description box. Pile 2, you guys are rock stars. I love this energy and I love you guys. Thank you so much for being part of this channel, this community, this collective, and part of my world. Love you guys. Bye. Hello, pile 3. If you chose the 3rd card, Stellar Gateway Activation, as well as the Othala or Odal rune, this is your message about what kind of spiritual mastery you guys are moving into with this 1111 portal. So I'm going to go over the intentions of the cards, and then I have a channeled message that I have journaled here, and I will go over that with you guys, and then we'll get into the cards out here. So this, the card you chose and the rune represent the theme of your 1111 portal. It's just kind of like the overarching theme of your energy, what this day is for you, how you have, it's kind of like how you have gotten to where you're at. Interesting. That's the first way that it's come through out of all the piles in that particular way. The 2 tarot cards up on top are what you're mastering. This one represents the shadow side of things, things being brought into illumination. And then we have an abundance card, which is an energy for you to be able to embody and move into, and a super attractor card for mantra work or affirmations or just something for you guys to reflect on, journal on, talk with your guides about. I'm hearing the word introspection for you guys. So pulling inward in terms of what this card says. All right. So with this Stellar Gateway Activation card, it says infinite potential and manifestation vortex. And it does have pyramids on it. And when I was channeling the message for this, I didn't have the card in front of me. I just sat it and, let what wanted to come through as far as like the rune meaning, the card, blending them together. But I did see my pyramid here as being part of the message. So I did put that in there. And I am going to offer right now, if anybody wants to tap into a Reiki energy alignment with this, I will pop that into this reading. And you guys can choose to accept it. You don't have to, not a big deal. I just figured I would offer it. And I'm already feeling tingling in my hands. So, hey guys, thanks. I always love sharing Reiki. So this is going to help with bringing back hope and reinvigorating the alignment of your chakras, your energy, your power, your manifestation. Yeah, all of that. So let's get into the channeled message first. So the rune that you chose, the Odal or Othala rune, depending on the resource that you use, and I use 2 different rune resources. One of them is like a big compendium of runes, the lore, how the worlds work, all sorts of mythology and everything like that, but also on a very esoteric and metaphysical level. And then the other one is just a kind of basic divination interpretation book. So I like to blend those together, but they do number the runes differently than each other. So with this rune, it is the rune number 4 in one book, but it's 24, or the final rune in the other one, which gives us a 4 and a 6 energy. That's Emperor and Lovers, or Aries and Gemini. This is about calling of the old, protection, your inner sacredness, your ancestral home and inheritance, but also retreating and kind of cutting away of things that aren't right for you, or that are no longer serving you, things that you've learned your lesson on, and you know that the time to move beyond it is here. That's how this energy starts. So the first message that I got is this is about a leadership of new ideas. It's about making the choice to allow the wind to change, but change directions, like allowing the wind to change directions within yourself. Because it's time for you to confidently show the world that you can lead yourself. One of the biggest marks of a true, like authentic leader, in my opinion, is someone who is 100% accountable. They are honest, open, transparent, and accountable. They take responsibility for their actions, and they know when they're in a leadership position, if they are not leading authentically, leading themselves first and foremost, then the way that they interact with others can have a disruptive energy exchange because it comes off as power dynamics. So if you're leading others, but you're not following your own lead, you're creating dissonance within your role as a leader. And so it's really important along that journey to realize, where am I letting myself down? Where am I prioritizing things over myself so that I can ameliorate this, so that I can move my next step forward, so I can do this next thing, so I can live my life in this authentically aligned way. What am I doing, or what have I created where I believe that I shouldn't have to follow my own leadership, my own rules? And this is not to say that you guys do. This is questions to ask yourself. Is this how it is? Only you know. So, yeah. And then I had this really fun message about symbiosis or symbiotic relationships, but it's more on an energetic level. So when I think of symbiosis, I think about humanity and the plant kingdom, or humanity and the animal kingdom, where in the past, before all the modernization of animal farms and all of that, farmers or ranchers would take care of cattle and take care of pigs and take care of sheep. They would shear the sheep, and then they would use that wool to sell at the marketplace or to create clothes or what have you. They would take the meat of those animals and sell it or eat it. And it was essentially a symbiotic relationship, because the farmer raised the calves into cows and took care of them, fed them, nurtured them, guided them. And when the time came, the cow would then feed and nurture and take care of the farmer. Symbiosis. Your symbiosis, though, is about your self-awareness and the awareness of others. So you're learning that by being more aware of yourself, you're also more aware of others, which aids your ability to create, to manifest, and to lead. Manifestation is not a new concept, but pile 3, you're offered a new way of manifesting through this portal. This is about your mastery. It is in bringing to the physical world what exists in the sacred meadow of your inner self. So when the time comes to recognize your ability to blend your lessons, your wisdom, your knowledge, as well as your karmic and cosmic purpose. I wrote cosmic purpose, but some of this might have to do with a karmic purpose as well. Within yourself, lean into the process. Lean into that blending of all of it. The cauldron of all of those things lies within you, and the gateway is now open. Bring forth that which your passionate self desires in creation, and open receptively for the gain. No longer do you view others' perspectives as your own, but so too do you respect there exists other perspectives. you're offered the freedom of knowing your truth and standing in it without the negation of others, nor outside sway upon yours. And then I got a physical and material receptivity, which is equal to honest wealth being gained. And I got a message about money mindset. Money is energy. Thus, it is a worthy exchange in receiving for what is offered by your sacred creations and expressions in the world. So a lot of what came through had a kind of higher awareness, mystical energy to it. But the primary focus here is in the recognition that my world is different than your world is different than my world. My beliefs, my truths are mine. That does not mean they have to be yours. And so too is the reverse. Your beliefs and truths do not have to be mine, but they are yours. And when we realize that basically the world that we all live in is a construct of our perception. It's a construct of our reality. Our perception is a construct that creates our reality. But there are so many people out in the world who seek to make their perception and their concept and creation of their reality have to be everybody else's. That's why we have wars and dissonance. That's why there are arguments and disagreements and people who challenge things like spirituality, divination, because it's not their truth, so it cannot be the truth to them. But if we hold a truth based off of what we know within ourselves, and somebody else challenges that, we don't have to defend ourselves. We don't have to prove our truths. If you want to say that you're a duck and that's what you want to believe, then be a duck. And as outrageous as that analogy is, that is literally what Spirit and your guides are saying here. What this is about is just radical acceptance of differences. It's realizing that the more that we seek to label and identify and define and put people into these pretty little boxes where everybody feels so comfortable because they know this is your category, this is your category, this is your category. There is no such thing. It's literally a construct of humanity. I watched a Chloe Taylor video once where she talked about money and how we all struggle with money mindsets on and off throughout our life. I'm being broad in my description, but she brought up one of the most obvious points of audacity when it comes to money. Like, everybody who is higher up in power values this money, but do they not realize that it's literally, money means nothing. It is a construct of humanity. We didn't have within ourselves the ability to say, okay, I'm worth this and you're worth that, and let's exchange or barter. And we got rid of the barter and the trade system in lieu of money. Money is just paper. That's it. The fact that this world is built on such unstable grounds because money it's something that's printed and paper, and all it does is support. All it does is give us a physical representation of an internal worth and value, or a worth and value of some sort of creation, which this whole world is built on creation. Everything in this world is creation. The shadow that you're moving through here for your mastery in this area is the illusions. Why would I believe that money doesn't like me? Why would I believe that I'm incapable of earning my worth and my value in this world when we're utilizing an idea made into the physical, so it's just an example of manifestation as a signifier of my own personal, creative, spiritual, unique worth. And the more that this comes to light, the more that this mindset comes in and you're like, wow, okay. So people believe that spiritual workers shouldn't charge for their services. And yet they think that it's a worthy cause to throw money into a political campaign, or to pay a mechanic, or to go to the grocery store and buy food instead of growing it themselves. But spiritual workers shouldn't earn money. And that has been so deeply ingrained into the collective unconscious that people who walk into the spiritual life do struggle with that. They struggle with that. And especially those who grow up in organized religion, they also struggle with that, because organized religion says that money makes you greedy, that divination is evil, this and that. This is about you saying, okay, I recognize that there are all these illusions running the world. People call it the matrix. People call it this. They call it that. It's programming. It's conditioning. It is. Yes, it is. It's all of those things, and it's none of them. Those are all merely terms that we use in order to give ourselves a concrete foundational awareness of the fact that we are creating our reality in every sense of the word. And the problem that is being highlighted here within the psyche is the psyche says that manifestation is some sort of magic. I'm giving an example, but this feels kind of like a specific example. So manifestation is some sort of magic, and it only works for X amount of people. People who just blindly believe in it, then it works for them. Or people who are divinely blessed, people, whatever that mentality is. That illusion needs to be blown away by something logical. That would be why this message is coming in the way that it is, because everything that I'm saying is, it feels so incredibly logical. And at the same time, it's like the most freeing logic. Humanity builds rules and cheat codes and whatever, like it's all just a big game. And that used to scare the crap out of me. And I used to be like, well, how do I get out of it? How do I play the game? There's not a single person out in the world who can tell you how you specifically are meant to play the game. That would be like, it's like telling a person how to breathe. We can say breathe in and breathe out. Okay, but how does the mechanism of breathing work? How do you make yourself breathe in? How do you make your lungs inhale? We don't think about those things because our bodies do it naturally. That is what our bodies naturally do. We are naturally divine. We are naturally abundant. We are naturally blessed. Miracles are natural to us. But because we can't see the mechanism behind it, we don't know. It's the same as breathing. Sure, you can be like, okay, the brain fires and it makes this stuff go. Okay, but there's no mechanics to it whatsoever. It's all just firing electricity throughout our minds into our bodies to make these things work. Yes, everything is connected because we have all this connective tissue, but it's still just an electrical current. It's no different than how a computer works. But because we don't necessarily understand the inner workings of it, because the brain is a miracle. It's a miracle we keep trying to study. and we get little pieces of it, but we don't ever get the whole of it. Our souls, where do those exist within? What is the illusion? This activation right here is asking you to see yourself through a different lens, to see that we keep looking for illusions in the sense of betrayal or denial or deceit or lies or just some grand conspiracy theories. Everything is an illusion, down to the light of the moon. The moon does not actually give off light. The moon is nothing but a gigantic rock out in space. The only reason we see it as a luminary, the only reason why we have that light at night is because of the sun. The moon does not have light. The sun has light and the moon reflects that. That's why it's an illusion. Does that take the power away from the moon as being a light? No. No, it doesn't. It doesn't change what happens. You're just seeing that we put things into definitions and we label them and we box them up because we think it's neater, we think it's cleaner. And sometimes it's time to just cut all of that crap out because sometimes it's the messy that's the best. The worst illusions told are of those that harm others or harm ourselves. The ones where we say, you're not worthy, you're not loved, you're damned. Any of those are the worst illusions because they are built upon something that cannot be touched. It's nonsensical in nature because it does not apply to any of your five senses. If one can weave an illusion of unworthiness through mere words and triggering other people's thoughts, so too can the opposite be true. This is what you're mastering. You're mastering an awareness, an analysis kind of way of seeing mindsets that have held you back for so long, recognizing that they're just an illusion and that you can create an illusion even bigger. But the false concepts have to be broken away from in the past, which is why this is out here for that alignment. Now let's take a look at the tarot cards for greater awareness of mastery. The Nine of Cups and the Ace of Cups. This is not about relationships unless you want it to be about relationships. This is saying you are learning to master the bigger picture in one single step. You're learning to combine. This is that cauldron energy from the channeled message. You're learning to combine all of the different awarenesses that you have, the wisdom, the emotional awareness, the intelligence, everything to create a brand new singular truth of worth, of value, of love, of blessings, of miracles, of offering. This card signifies that you are moving into a state of mastery in which you recognize what a miracle you are, what a miracle you bring to this world, and that those things are inherently, innately, divinely meant for you. The fact that you are that worthy of miracles and blessings, of offerings from the universe, it means so much. Once you become aware, that's when you can adapt or integrate it as a truth. And when it becomes your truth, I tell you guys what, I've been through some really hard shit in my life. I've been through so much. I had very little faith throughout a lot of that. And I sit here and I have the most faith I have ever had in my entire life. I have been sick on a regular basis, but I don't sit and go, why me? Why this? Why did it happen? Now I'm like, okay, my body needs me to slow down. I need to take a break. I need to rest. I need to take care of myself. So I give myself those things. I recognize that it's merely a time for me to rest, to pull back, not that I'm being punished. My faith has given me hope. My faith has given me strength. Whether this is about faith or abilities or worthiness, once you adopt it as a truth, in order to remove it, someone else would have to provide irrefutable evidence of your unworthiness, and their words are simply not enough. Their actions aren't even enough. That is what faith is. I know I am worthy of the life I desire. I know I am worthy of my dreams coming true. I know I am worthy of blessings, miracles, abundance, and prosperity. I know I am worth all of that. And if you don't know that about me or about yourself, that's okay. That's okay. And that's how you pass those people and move on. They can keep that as their truth. It is not your truth. And your truth is the most powerful. Your truth is the most powerful. Your faith is the most powerful. So every second that you decide, this is my faith in what my worth is, this is... Sorry, guys, I needed to yawn. I haven't moved energy like this in a long time. I believe I am worthy of this. I know it is an irrefutable truth. It is a law of nature, a law of the universe, that I am inherently worthy. And the illusions others weave about any kind of labels or definitions or unworthiness or unlovable nature, they can't touch me, because I know my truth, because I know my power, because I know what my worth is. And I know that the universe graces me with blessings. And I am grateful for that. I am honored by that. And I am true to that. When you adopt a mindset, it's not just about affirmations. It is not just about reshifting the perspective or changing the paradigm. It is about the purity of faith. It is about an irrefutable truth. I know, me personally, Monica, I know in my life there are people who see me as a villain. I know that people have that impression of me. I also know that while I may not be perfect, I have operated and reacted and acted and treated people unfairly. I know where it came from, but me as a person, I don't ever allow for me to make excuses for my behavior. I don't care if I'm trauma triggered. If I'm yelling, I shouldn't be. And I apologize when that emotion, overwhelm, moves beyond and I can calm down. I do not always have control. And I understand it's the nature of trauma, but I also understand that the healing of that is on my shoulders. So I take responsibility for that. The reason why I'm telling you guys this is because when we are accepting truths, when we are changing things like this, when we are accepting these things, It is not on your shoulders to prove to someone who does not want to hear the truth or who wants to paint you in a certain way. It is not your job to prove them wrong. It is your job to hold yourself to the standards that are right for you, to focus upon your path, to be responsible for your actions, your reactions, your beliefs, your thoughts, and your emotions. You are the one that has that power. That's why you guys are able to access this level of energy, this magnitude of gateway energy, because you know about the illusion. And because you have proven yourself to be responsible, not just responsible, but honest, to work with integrity, to be authentic, to be genuine. And people may not always understand that. That's okay. They don't have to. They don't. There's so many people in my life that would not recognize me. They wouldn't have any idea who I am because their construct of me was me in the past. It is not for me to justify my worth and my value to someone who has a construct of me locked in a past version of me for who I am now, because all I'm doing is degrading all of the work that I've done on myself. I can be my authentic, genuine self around them, and they can either accept that this is who I am, or they can go away feeling like I am being a liar. And that's okay. That's okay, because they don't know me. They continue to hold on to that. And I'm sharing this with you because this is about breaking yourself free. When you move through this stellar gateway activation, when you recognize the sacredness that you contain within yourself, that inner power, now you know what to do. You are mastering creating the life that you dream of. You guys are the masters who understand change begins with one individual. Change begins with the self. Not just understand that, you guys have elevated that in so many ways. No amount of history from your past can ever negate your growth that you have done, your healing that you have done. That is divine, just like you. So let's take a look at the divine abundance you guys are stepping into. Delusion. Intention without surrender can be a fast path to delusion. Look at this, you guys. Literally, this is about you guys recognizing, this is what I have. This is what I'm doing. I'm moving forward with this. The delusions of others are not mine. They're not mine. You had the intention of healing. You had the intention of making your dreams come true. You had the intention of creating. You had the intention of this or that, whatever it was. You had the intention of it. And the illusion or delusion was that you couldn't have it. You couldn't attain it. You couldn't achieve it. You weren't worthy of it. When that happens, you hit rock bottom. You have a breaking point. And when I hit mine, my first thought was, everybody was right about me. I'm crazy. I'm not psychic. I'm not capable of these things. I'm not accepted. I'm not loved. I'm too nice. Everyone's going to hurt me. I don't get to choose myself because then I get attacked for choosing myself. There are so many things that come through when that break happens, everything that floods in are delusions based off of other people's opinions, beliefs, actions, and behaviors. None of them were spirit. None of them were my guides. None of them were my higher self. None of them were my inner child, my intuition, or my heart. None of them were me. It was all just everyone else's beliefs and the ways that they put everything on my shoulders. And I took it and took it and took it and took it and took it until I stopped taking it. Because I was under my own delusion that I had to carry this to be worthy. I never surrendered. I was like, I'll fight to the death. And then I broke. And I realized, what's the point? I had this intention, I'm going to go out and I'm going to work on what I want to work on. And the universe will show up for me when the universe shows up for me, but I'm going to create. But I'm not going to worry about whether this person is going to see it and attack me because they don't believe that this is really me, or whether this or that. I'm not doing that anymore. This is what you guys are doing. This portal, my God, pile 3. This is like, it's like rationality meets intuition, and boom, you see all of it. Literally, like I am seeing the world laid out flat and lines connecting everything, but it's not the world, it's your life. It's your life. It's a comment made by this person here that is tied to some action that someone else took here to reinforce some negative belief systems. And you're seeing how much of the ways of mental and emotional anguish and struggle internally come from an exterior source rather than the truth of yourself inside. This is so incredibly powerful. So incredibly powerful. I'm so excited for you guys. I want to get your final mantra and then we'll let you guys go. I accept that good things come easily. I am a super attractor. Right here. Once you detangle all of the quantum entanglements of all the belief systems and behaviors and attitudes and treatment and actions that other people have taken to get to the core of you, that's when you realize that good things come easily to you. Good things come easily to you because you attract everything good. Like attracts like. Good things come easily because you are inherently good, my loves. You are sacred, divine, blessed. Pile 3. I love this message. I'm in awe. I am proud of you guys. Thank you for letting me be a part of this journey for you guys. Thank you for sitting here and hearing this message. I want to say thank you to your guides, to my guides, to the Great Spirit for facilitating the connections between these energies, for bringing these powerful, powerful transformational messages for the 1111 portal through. Thank you. And thank you for pile 3, for how resonant their message felt, for how amazing they are in rising and creating and just being in this world. Thank you so much, Spirit. Pile 3, if this resonated and you would like to support my channel, I would love that. Some of the ways you can do that are by liking the video, commenting in the comment section below, subscribing to my channel. Also, if you go to the description box, there are links to donate to my channel, but there also is an Amazon link in there. It's to my Amazon author page. There are 9 books that I have published. You can check those out. They're available in a multitude of formats, including hardcover, paperback, Kindle, and Kindle Unlimited. So go check those out. Again, the link for my Amazon author page is in the description box. Now, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope this message hit home, found exactly who it's meant to, and helps each and every one of you. I love you guys so much. Thank you again for being here. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I will see you at my next reading. Bye. Hello, pile 4. If you chose the 4th card, the Seraphim's Gateway, as well as the Nothi's Rune, this is your message about the 1111 portal and what kind of spiritual mastery are you moving into as you walk through this portal, this gateway energy. So I'm going to give the intention of the cards for you guys, and then we'll get into the original channeled message. I did do some writing down. Wow, spirit, automatic writing. My brain just like shut off. I did some automatic writing for each pile. So I do have that over here that I'm going to go through with you guys, but we're going to go through the intentions first. So the card and the rune that you chose indicates the overall theme of the 1111 portal, the energy that is open and available to you, the energy that you are, I just heard working with already. So that's very interesting because you're the only ones I've gotten that for. So this is the energy you're already working with. The 3 tarot cards up on top are wow, my words. Okay. I get why. We'll get there. They represent what you are mastering. Then we have the back of the deck energy, which is all about the shadow energy that is being highlighted, being brought to the light, and part of the whole mastery energy. We have divine abundance here, which is energy available for you to embody more abundance, more awareness. And then we have the super attractor cards, which I love. I'm really excited to be using these during this reading. We're using the super attractor cards as a mantra, if you want to take it as that, or it could be any kind of affirmation. You could take it and use it for reflection, for journaling, asking your guides, just getting contemplative with it for you guys. So you guys chose Seraphim's Gateway, and this card says voice activation, angelic attunement, and divine support. With the Nothi's Rune, I am working with 2 different rune interpretation books, one of which is a kind of more mainstream divinatory interpretation, and the other one goes into a very deep dive surrounding the runes. Now, the one that goes into the deep dive has a different numbering system for the runes, and so I have actually pulled both numbers for all the piles. So the Nothi's Rune, in one of them is the rune number 7, and for the other one, it's the rune number 10. And the Nothi's Rune is the rune of need, or need fire, and it signifies needs that we have, but stresses that we're under, mitigating that stress, limitations, pain, adversity, and what power they have. With the number 7 and the number 10, there were 3 major arcana cards that came up: the Chariot, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Magician, which are representative of Cancer, Jupiter, and Mercury. In this energy, in particular, divine cosmic shifts were incredibly prominent in this energy, especially Pluto energy. So I felt Pluto's energy very, very strongly, in particular, Pluto ending his transit through, or her transit through, Capricorn. And with that Cancerian energy in there, it has a lot of energy interactions here. So I'm going to go ahead and dive right into the channeled message that I got, and then we're going to go through the cards. So the limitations of adversity, pile 4, they've come as great teachers for you. This pile in particular, the energy that I received, your guides were so like direct. So I want you guys to realize that any kind of you, we, our, it is directly from your guides on this one. So I heard you've been in the dark, the cold, the wintry forests of your shadowlands within. As outer cosmic pressure experienced began with reactionary behaviors, now they are building pressure of pure change. Discovering your wings, Earth Angels, has been the gauntlet run, and in the stillness of the dark, eyes closed, a breeze felt came from the wings upon you. This pile feels like you pile 4, you feel when the cosmos change and shift. There is a feeling in this energy of building pressure, but building pressure that is finally being released. And that is coming on the horizon. It's as though you can feel there will be a release. And it is almost tangible, which makes that pressure that much more pressurized. That energy that I was feeling was Pluto entering the final year of his Capricorn or her Capricorn transit. Limitations from this transit have opened expansions of self and your divine voice within Cancerian energy. And I asked why it was coming out that way, because shouldn't it be in Capricorn energy if that's where Pluto is moving? What I was told is when the pressure to change occurs in one area of the zodiacal wheel, the alleviation of it is found through its counterpart energy. Recognizing the need to change opens the gateway of love. And then I heard all things happened. And as your inner world thaws, all things happened for the sake of you. Remembering your wings and hearing the heavenly melody of your voice. So, Pluto being in Capricorn, Capricorn's opposite or counterpart sign is Cancer. And one of them is the winter solstice, one of them is the summer solstice. So they represent midpoints of the sun's transit. Or the sun's ecliptic, not the sun's transit, but it's technically our transit, but we see it as the sun. Anyway, the pressure felt in Capricorn, wherever it falls within your natal chart, when that pressure starts forming in that area, it needs to go somewhere. Even though you would think the most direct path would be through a sign closest to it or another earth sign, the best way to channel that energy is through understanding how it impacts the opposite. How does it impact the sign that it is oppositional to? Because that's where the greatest amount of tension is felt. If you say, for instance, you have Capricorn in the 6th house, so that would make you a Leo rising. If you have Capricorn in the 6th house and all this pressure in the 6th house is building up, this is pressure about your health, about your work, about how you feel of service to others, about how you care for yourself and how you care for others. All of this area is pressurized. You could get sick a lot. You could lose a job. You could have trouble at home with, like if you're a parent with kids really pushing back on you, you could start struggling with the areas in which you perceive yourself based off of your childhood. This kind of energy in this house, it needs to be released. But that house is locked down in a transformational state. You can't rush transformation. You can't rush healing. What you can do is seek another outlet, seek a release valve, essentially, in its opposite sign, which would be Cancer. If Capricorn is in the 6th house, then you have Cancer in the 12th house. that means that your release is through spirit. It is through the mystical. It is through understanding and loving and nurturing and being loyal to yourself and all the little bits and bobs and pieces within you that you shove away, that you push away, that you think, I'll get to it in time. I'll get to it when I have time. I will get to it when I am done taking care of X, Y, and Z. The more that you push things into, I'll take care of it later, I'll take care of it later, the greater the pressure in that area, in the oppositional area is, because there's no mitigation of it. So this pile in particular, you can feel how this area, this axis in your life is about to change. But you've probably been feeling it for about a year and a half, if not 2 whole years already. And there's still another year to go of the transit. So this is the part of the transit that feels the heaviest, because you're getting glimpses of when this pressure goes away and how great it feels. And then it comes back, and it can feel like moving backwards. It can feel like you're right back in that exact same energy, that exact same situation. And you've done everything to heal this. You've done everything to move beyond this. Why now? Why is it back? What did I do wrong? And then you start feeling the weight and the strain of stress and distress and dis-ease. And you start feeling more and more limited, because if I've already healed this, if I've already moved beyond this, why is this here? It's there because you're at the mercy of the transits. And this is not to say that you are completely devoid of free will, and that no matter what, astrology is going to determine how you feel and what you experience or anything like that. I do not subscribe to that type of astrological viewpoint. I do understand that it will create tension in certain places, that it will create ease in certain places, that we will flow or we will struggle. But that does not mean that we can't do anything. It doesn't mean that we are powerless and have to just sit under the weight and just suffer. That is why your guides were so clear in the beginning that you know how valuable adversity is, which means these blips at this point, because they're just blips of Pluto moving back into Capricorn before moving out of Aquarius, these are blips on the radar. These are things that are there to essentially be an internal cleanup crew. And that's how I view a lot of Pluto's transits, is when Pluto transits back into a house after it has done even just one initial ingress into a 0 degree, 1 minute of another sign, and then comes back to the other sign. No matter what, that transit, now you have that brief idea of what is to come and comes back. Pluto isn't doing that back and forth to punish. It's not doing it because you didn't do a good enough job the first time. It is literally the cleanup crew. I'm actually seeing a skating rink. And when you have a hockey game, for instance, and they are out there, and then there's the intermission between periods, or, break between periods, the Zamboni comes out and cleans up the ice, smooths it all out, gets it all fresh ice. They come back out. Think of it that way. Now you have smooth ice instead of the amount of chipped ice and whatever, because the ice before the Zamboni comes in, it's dangerous. The longer that it goes that way with hockey, it can be dangerous because there can be chunks missing out of the ice. I'm just not giving an actual tangible example, but this is what I'm being shown. The Zamboni goes on the ice before the game starts. Everything is nice and clean and clear, and then the game goes. And now there's a pause, there's a break in the game. the Zamboni comes out and clears the ice. When the Zamboni comes out and clears the ice can be like, but you had me perfect. Why is this happening again? Why am I doing this again? Because there is a space in between in which things get brought to the surface for our awareness, for us to continue to progress in the healing so that we can, at the end of the game, have one final clearing and release all that tension, all that pressure, and all that stress in that area. Now we can release it. When we don't understand that we're in a state where we need to infuse our lives with more warmth, the ice can be incredibly challenging. It's being in freeze mode. You don't know what to do or where to go or how to navigate. Why? Because you've been in this place before and you thought you were done. You thought it was over. Now you're not anymore. What do I do? Because I knew how to help myself. I knew all of these things. What do? You find the oppositional energy and you allow yourself to sit in that oppositional energy and say, what is this pressure teaching me about this area of my life? What is the pressure here teaching me about home and family and love and generosity and protection and loyalty? What is it teaching me about emotionality and sensitivity? What is it teaching me about myself and my ability to connect psychically with spirit? What is it telling me about my depths? What is it telling me about protection? What is it telling me about home? What are these things teaching you? There are angels all around. They're around us all the time. But right now, there are angels that are helping you understand that all of this pressure has been for you to find that voice, to find the voice within yourself that says, why is this occurring and what does it mean? And I don't mean why, I don't mean asking why in the sense of why me? Why this? No. Why is this occurring? Pluto is transiting here. Okay, so that's why it's occurring. What does it mean? How can you feel it? How do you feel it in your life, in your energy, in your mentality, in your body? How is it impacting different aspects, different areas of your life? When you close your eyes and the air seems still, everything seems still, but then all of a sudden it's like something, just a gentle breeze flutters by you and you open your eyes and you're like, that was weird. My air must have kicked on, or I don't know. I guess there's a breeze outside. Maybe I felt it through just because I heard it or something like that. No. Your angels are saying you already know this. You've experienced it. You've felt it. But when things went back, when that pressure came back, doubt seeped in. Am I really an earth angel? Do I really have wings? We can think of those things as being absolutely insane, of course. Or we can think, if I do have them, then I am protected. Then I have done what I think I've done. Then I have accomplished what I think I've accomplished. I have healed what I think I healed. And from there, you start interacting with the Nothi's rune and the angelic or seraphim gateway in order to bring that spark of life back from the despair, from the stress, from the pain, from the limitations, from the pressure. You, in essence, take that next step into transformation. Now, with the Ace of Pentacles being on the back of the deck, when I set this down, I heard $1 million idea. I don't know what that means for each and every one of you. I have no idea. That is all I got was $1 million idea. But if it's in the shadow, that means that there's some sort of hesitancy or doubt or fear surrounding some sort of idea. We look at the concept of $1 million idea, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be $1 million. It could be, but we label things that way because we're stating in that moment, this has great value. This has the value that will change lives, mine and others. This is a brilliant, genius, divinely guided idea that I have. But when that pressure comes in and you feel like I've done it all before and nothing is happening, why should I engage in this idea? Why should I continue doing this? I know this energy very well, you guys. This is the energy that I went through most recently this summer. Why do I continue doing these things? Why do I do this? Why do I do that? If I am going through the same lessons again, have I not learned? I'm sitting here with all the same awarenesses, but the continual nature of learning these same lessons over and over again is weighing. It's heavy. It's tiring. What do I do? How do I move through this? How am I supposed to ever bring anything back into the world? Through letting the seraphim activate your voice. They're like, they want you to see the card. It's letting your voice become activated. Why should you do that? Because it matters. I just saw 2222, so that is significant here, I have the feeling. But it matters. It matters to you. It matters to your guides. It matters to the people out there who are waiting for something that they don't know what they're waiting for, but they can feel it because it's within you. $1 million idea is something that you know without a doubt is meant to be a success. It's like a divine promise to you that it will be a success. But it will only be a success when you accept that you already have succeeded in it. It will only be a success when you embody the energy of already having what you know has been promised. And how you do that, I'm sorry to say, is not something anyone can teach you. It's words. That's all that other people teach about learning how to embody things, learning how to feel things, learning how to manifest things. It's only words. They can give you their ideas, give you their experiences, give you their tips and their tricks, but you are the one who embodies it. You're the one who engages with it. You're the one who feels it. You're the one who knows it, and you're the one who is meant to create and manifest this. What does it mean to you? What does it do for your life? What does it do for you? That's how you embody it, in my opinion. What will it bring to you? Because when you realize that everything that you create for yourself first and foremost, it is a pure creation. It's so pure. And other people might tell you that's selfish. You should be creating with other people in mind. I mean, I've been through writing communities where they're literally like, you need to write with your reader in mind. Write to a reader. What do they want? That it didn't translate for me. No matter how many times I tried, it didn't translate for me. Yes, I could see the worth and the value of what I am writing for other people. But if I'm doing it solely for other people, then all I'm doing is people pleasing. All I'm doing is self-sacrifice. And the whole point was to get out of that and to do something for me that was a passion of mine that I love. So I walked away from that mentality and published 9 books on my own. I wrote them, edited them. I had some help with editing, cover design, everything. Because I knew the value, but I also knew that in doing those things, it was proving to myself how capable I am. $1 million idea. Your $1 million idea is something that you are more than capable of because it's your idea. It's destiny. And I know that can be hard for some people, but that's how it feels. It feels like it is utterly destined for you. So let's see what it is you're mastering so that you can, I really want you guys to take this $1 million idea that you have, whatever divine inspiration you have. I really want you to take it and create. I do. The world needs it. I can feel it. 10 of Swords. This is what you're mastering, guys. The world. And the Star. Holy buckets. Right here. You are literally mastering letting that final sword be the actual end. Enlightenment through pain. Authenticity through adversity. Healing through the pain, through the hurt. That's what you're mastering. You are mastering the things that people say can't be done. You are mastering you're mastering rising up from the ashes of everybody else's thoughts and energies and betrayals, of all of the doubts, of all of the repetition that feels like you can't breathe around it, like you can't function around it. You're mastering the phase of your life where your thoughts beat you down. You're moving into a state where you know 100% as you create for yourself, so too do you create for the world, because you are one and the same. And therefore, your creations are pure, beautiful, blessed, divinely guided, and purposeful. Destined. What is your $1 million idea, pile 4? And please do not put the actual idea down in the comment section. Just be like, yes, I do have one. Because there's a sacredness to this idea. There is a sacredness to your idea. When it is ready to be shared, you will share it. But for now, all I would love to know is that you have one, that you know, that you feel it. I know it's there because I can feel it in the energy field. It's like an excited, wriggly little puppy who's like, oh my God, I'm going to have a snack. I'm going to have a bone. I'm going to play. Oh my gosh, there's a human. That is how that idea feels in your energy field right now. It's like when you know your dream dog is coming into your life, but the puppy was just born. And so you know it's there, you know it's coming, but you still have to wait 6 to 8 weeks, preferably 8 weeks, because 6 weeks is a bit too early, until the pup is ready to go out on their own, ready to leave home, ready to leave and come to you. That's how this feels. It is there. It is there. And this last energetic interaction, this last pullback transit this year, it rocked. And not in a good way. It like rocked the boat. It rocked your steadiness. It's okay. There is one more to come, but it does not feel the same to me as the other one as this year's did. It feels cleaner. It feels like, it's like when you have a clean house and now you're in maintenance mode. So all the dusting is done, all the dishes are done, all the laundry is done, everything is done, the house is nice and neat. Now you're in maintenance mode. So now you know there's still some cleanup to do, but each day of cleanup is significantly easier than that initial cleanup. That is what the next transit feels like. And then it's done. And then you have this shiny idea. Now you have your puppy. You're mastering knowing that it's coming and that being your beacon of hope. That being everything that you need to continue to walk forward through whatever adversity you have to face. No matter what, because you are strong enough, brave enough, true enough, authentic enough, worthy enough, loved enough, supported enough. So let's see the abundant energy for you guys. Yes, gratitude. Fill me with gratitude for all you give. May I be a vehicle for you wherever I go. We tell our kids all the time, always say please and thank you. Why do we say thank you? Because we want the person to know that we appreciate everything. Sit with this energy. This is my advice, but it's also partly what your guides are bringing through. But sit with this energy. Think about the transit. And we do have a hummingbird here again. Think about all the things that you felt were impossibilities that have become possible. Think of how much pain you've endured and how strong it made you. Think about how you never, ever lose sight of the hope and the truth. Think about all the help that you have had. Think about all that you have helped yourself with. And say thank you. Say thank you in a way that is so authentic and genuine that you feel it to the core of your being. Look in the mirror and thank yourself. Say thank you for fighting through. Thank you for your perseverance. Thank you for not giving up. Thank your guides. Thank your angels. Thank your loved ones. Thank yourself. Thank the universe. And thank Pluto, because people get really afraid of Pluto or they dismiss Pluto. But in my opinion, Pluto does the hardest work for all of us. The hardest work with the least amount of credit. Pluto's transit is one that I am so grateful for in my own life. Fill yourself up with gratitude. See all the hardships and all the trials and all the tribulations, and then see all the growth and just give so much thanks, so much gratitude for the harder stuff, for the hardest stuff, for all of it that challenged you, every single one of those swords in your back. Be grateful. And yeah, it can be hard, and yeah, it can feel disingenuous in the beginning, but the more that you look at where you have come from, at who you have become, at how strong you are, how capable you are, how resilient you are, the more that you realize each and every one of those swords were absolutely necessary for you to stand up tall and proud, strong and determined today. And it is something that you are worthy of being recognized for. And you really should recognize for yourself, as hard as it is, because you deserve it. So let's get your final card. Feeling good will bring me far more than whatever I thought I needed. Nauthies is need. When you step into hope, optimism, authenticity, gratitude, just laugh it off and be like, I've got my $1 million idea. I am ready to go. When you do that, that's when you move forward. All right, my lovely, amazing, incredible pile fours. You guys always just like rock me energetically, emotionally, mentally. Every time my pile fours, I love you guys so much. You guys are heroes. You are rock stars. You are incredible. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to your guides. Thank you to my guides. Thank you to the Great Spirit. Thank you, Pluto, for bringing these energies together, for facilitating the connection, the flow, the message, the love, the empowerment. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you as well for the journey that Pile 4 has been on in this life. May they know forever that they are seen, heard, loved, that they weren't being punished, but they were growing, strengthening, and opening more to love. May they feel that in their hearts. Thank you. Pile 4, if this resonated and you would like to support my channel, that'd be super awesome. Some of the ways you can do that are by liking this video, commenting in the comment section below. You can subscribe to my channel. Another way that you could do that is by going to my description box. There are links to donate to my channel in the description box if you feel called to it. There's also a link to my Amazon author page. On that author page, you will find all 9 of my books. They are available in a variety of different formats, from hardcover to paperback to Kindle and Kindle Unlimited. So feel free to go and check those out. They usually ship in a couple of days once they're done being printed, and they print on demand. So it's a brand new book every time you buy it. Yeah, so go check that out. All right, Pile 4. You guys are rock stars. I am incredibly impressed and proud to be here, honored to read your energy. Thank you again so much. I love you guys to the moon and back. Thank you. I will see you guys all at my next reading. Have a beautiful day. Bye.